What are your plans to retain Laurel money inside the city of Laurel?
Retaining Laurel money inside the city of Laurel is a good thing to do, first of all. One thing is to show the people the need to support their local economy. People talk about streets being bad and pipes being bad and all that, but one of the major contributors to repairs and other services in the city is city sales tax. And the more people spend in Laurel, the more money comes to Laurel from the sales tax from the state. People also like to talk about having major restaurants and things like that in the city of Laurel. Laurel has a big drawing card. We draw from Wayne County, Covington County, Jasper County. Several counties come to Laurel to shop and to eat. And if major restaurants were to give Laurel a fair shot, give Laurel a good look, a fair look, they would show that we are capable of handling major restaurants. And I believe that people in Laurel will support them. So an administration in Johnny Magee being mayor, we will seek out people to come and to bring major restaurants to Laurel. No guarantees, but if they give us a fair shake, then we believe that Laurel can definitely support it. So one of the main things is to encourage the people in Laurel to shop in Laurel, to shop at home so that the tax dollars can stay here. And the more you shop at home, the more you will be able to bring in things that you might want to eat and shop at. People look at numbers. Laurel has the numbers. We just have to go out and make a good selling point that we are able to supply what they need.
Okay. Everyone talks about creating jobs and bringing in more businesses to the city. Can you share specifically how you plan to bring in more businesses and jobs?
We have, in my opinion, an excellent economic development authority. We want to work closely with the Economic Development Authority in bringing businesses to Laurel, in bringing jobs to Laurel. That is their major duty, is to bring jobs and business to Laurel. We have to appoint people to the EDA that is concerned about existing businesses in Laurel and bringing other businesses to Laurel. I know there are comments and criticisms a lot of times about it seems like everything's going to Ellisville, but we know that in working closely with the EDA, we can encourage them to at least show Laurel to businesses, show Laurel to industry. We have a lot of land in Laurel that we should be able to utilize and to bring jobs and businesses here. That will be one of our main focuses, is bringing better jobs to Laurel. The city does not create jobs. The city has only 300 employees. So the city doesn't really create jobs, but we can make it friendly enough, business friendly enough, that people will be comfortable in bringing jobs to Laurel. And that is what our administration will be. We'll be business friendly. We will work with the EDA, we'll work with the supervisors and anybody else that needs to be worked with in order to bring business to Laurel, because jobs, especially small businesses, is one of the things that our economy rolls on, and we want to encourage small businesses. We want to help them all that we can, and by working with the EDA and the Chamber of Commerce, then I believe that we can strengthen the existing businesses we have here and also recruit new businesses. That is the way that we will help in the creation of jobs. And as I say, the city does not create jobs, but we do make the atmosphere comfortable and friendly enough for other businesses to come in.
All right. And I forgot to mention too, these questions did come from our readers on Facebook, email, different places. Have you promised any former candidate who didn't make the runoff a job or position inside your city administration in exchange for their support in the runoff?
Actually, the short answer is no. I did call 2 of the people that did not make the runoff to ask if I could do anything to garner their support. I never received a call back from either one, so I guess the answer is that I can do nothing to garner their support. But I have not promised anybody a job that that had ran before, and they still have not replied to me, but I still reach out to them asking for their support and for the support of the people that voted for them the first time. But we have not promised any jobs.
Okay. What are your plans to repair our streets, and how are we going to pay for it?
That question and number 7 are kind of tied together
Okay.
in my plan. And that plan being to, one of the reasons that we want to fix the water pipes and the sewer lines before we pave streets is because as soon as you pave streets, and then you have to dig up the street in order to fix the water line and the sewer line. So our plan is to repair the water lines and the sewer lines, then overlay the street after finishing that. The water and sewer lines should last a minimum of 100 years. The streets, after being overlaid on top of new water and sewer lines, should last at least 10 years. To pay for this, the city has several bonds that are on the books right now. Low interest loans, geo bonds, and things like that. And as one bond rolls off, we will add another bond. We will pay that bond off, add that bond to the street and sewer repair, and then as they continue to roll off, like bonds for the Sportsplex, bonds for the Magnolia Center, as we pay those off, then we can put that money toward street repair and water and sewer line repair. Hopefully we can do this without an increase to the taxpayer, because the water line and the sewer line repairs must take care of themselves. They must be paid back from the fund that the people pay for their water and their sewer lines. And so we believe that we can do this. It's going to take about 15 years to accomplish it, but you will see work in every ward every year until it's finished. 7 wards, work going on in 7 wards, replacing water lines, sewer line, and streets throughout the city every year until it's finished. And we are projecting a 15-year project. But after it's finished, then you've got new water lines, new sewer lines all over town, and it will be at least 100 years before you have to worry about those again on a major scale.
Okay. All right. Will there be a CAO to run the city, and what changes do you see at City Hall?
There will be a CAO to manage some of the affairs of the city. The CAO will not run the city. The mayor will run the city in a Magee administration. We do intend to have a CAO because the CAO does assist the mayor in a lot of things that's going on in the city, like a lot of the day-to-day operation things. But I intend to be a hands-on mayor. I will know everything that's going on in the city. The CEO will not be the one that will have to be answered to, but I'll be the one that will be answered to. The buck will stop with me. I will be the one that makes the tough decisions. I'll be able to be the one to make the tough calls. The CEO will be there to support me. He will have my vision as his vision, and because if he doesn't have my vision for the city, and if we're on 2 different pages, then we won't be able to get along together. But we will have a CEO. He will not run the city. He will answer to me, and I will answer to the taxpayers. And the changes at City Hall tends to run very well right now, but it is the mayor's opportunity to name certain department heads. We will look at all the departments. We will look at all the, see how the efficiency is in all the departments, and we will go from there. There won't be any mass changes at City Hall because for the most part, we have 300 very dedicated employees, and we intend to help them in any way they can to advance themselves. But the mayor will run the city. There will be a CAO, and there will not be any wholesale changes at City Hall.
Okay. Both candidates have many years on the taxpayer payroll as elected officials. What will you do differently, and how?
One thing I would do differently, I believe, is to have a very open relationship with the city council. After having served 16 years on the council, I know it's very important to communicate with the council, because a lot of times we've got things placed before us to vote on, and we're not familiar with it. Sometimes the night of the meeting or the morning of the meeting is the first time we've seen it. So I think one thing that will be different is that I will have a better relationship with the city council. I'll have a more open relationship with the city council. There won't be a lot of secrets from the council, because we all need to be in the business of trying to advance this city, to make this city a better place to live and to work. And so that will be one of my major things, is to work closer with the council. Another will be to work with other government entities. I want to work closer with the Board of Supervisors. I want to work closer with the Sheriff's Department. That's being done already, but I want to do even more to work with them, because as we work together with the supervisors and the sheriff, we actually begin to save the citizens of Laurel money, because we can share some of these things with the supervisors and the sheriff. And those are some of the things that I want to do differently, and we will have an open administration. We intend to be the mayor for all the people, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, what you do for a living. We want to be the mayor that is striving to make this city the best city that it can be.
Okay. All right, we've already covered number 7, so let's jump to number 8 and 9 actually go together too. What is your vision for Laurel, and how would you leave it as a better place? And what do you consider to be the biggest danger for the city of Laurel's future?
Okay. My vision for Laurel, I was born and raised in Laurel. I remember going downtown Laurel before we had 16th Avenue and before we had the mall. And downtown Laurel was bustling. Laurel is still bustling, but I want to see a vibrant downtown again. I want to work with the Laurel Main Street in order to enhance the downtown area, to bring people into downtown so that they will buy buildings, open businesses, and that the businesses can thrive in downtown Laurel. I also want to see Laurel again be the city beautiful. Laurel at one time was referred to as the city beautiful. It's hard to find that now in so many places in Laurel. I want to bring that back to Laurel. We have a lot of things on the books as far as ordinances and codes that if we were to enforce them, it would be easier for Laurel to be the city beautiful again. We need to crack down on a lot of the litter, a lot of the junk cars, dilapidated buildings. We just need to do a better job of policing what we have in the city, cleaning up what we have in the city. That's part of my vision. I also want to see neighborhood associations in each neighborhood associations where neighbors talk to neighbors, where they communicate with each other, where they can get together and have neighborhood watches. Neighborhood watches and neighborhood associations bring pride to neighborhoods. And I want to have a neighborhood association in every neighborhood in the city and have a watch program on every street in the city, so that if something's happening on your street, you can call the police, or you can call your neighbor who can call the police. But we need to become more neighborly again. We need to be more in touch with our neighbors. We need to be more in touch with our neighborhood. That's part of my vision for Laurel. My vision for Laurel is also every day when I'm moving about, I see so many young people who are just idle on the streets. It's not such a government issue, but I believe it's a moral issue, in that if you want something, you have to get out and work for it. We have to instill in people that there is a reason to go out and work. There's a reason to finish high school. There's a reason to try to go to college. And we have to work with the churches and the civic organizations to try to get the people to understand that what they're doing is not helping the city, it's not helping themselves. And this is part of my vision. Part of my vision is to not see teenage girls walking around pregnant and unmarried. Again, that's not necessarily a government issue, but I believe the mayor has a bullet pulpit that he can stress things like that too, because this makes for a better community. This makes for a safer place to live. And one of the things that is the most harmful to Laurel, one of the biggest dangers to the city, is that we've gotten to a point where too many people just don't care. I believe that's one of the biggest dangers in Laurel. They can see crimes happening, they don't report it. They can see people being neglected, they don't report it. I believe that's a danger in any society. When people stop caring for each other, that's one of our biggest dangers here. We have apathy here. We noticed in the first primary election, the percentage of people that turned out for the election. That's a danger, because if you don't go out and vote, if you don't take part in what's going on, then as you all's cartoon said the other week, you can't complain. If you're not a part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. And that's one of the biggest dangers for the city of Laurel, is people who have just gotten to the point that they don't care. And some of the people that do care, they're frustrated, they're tired of being the one that has to carry the ball all the time. And they tend to get tired of doing it all by themselves. And I believe this is a danger. When people will walk by litter and not pick it up, that's a danger. When you don't speak to your next door neighbor, that's a danger. We're losing too much right now. And a nation like the one that we live in, where people have rights, we just don't spend the time teaching and showing each other how precious these rights are. That's a danger, in my opinion. If less than 50% of the people turn out to vote at any time, that's a danger to society right there. Whether in a city the size of Laurel, when you can't get the people out to vote, to choose the people who will be leading their city for the next 4 years, it's very sad. It's very, and that's a danger not only in Laurel, but it's a danger in the country, when people don't care enough to even go and choose their leaders. So, in saying all that, I think apathy is one of our biggest dangers. And unless we wake up and begin to seize on the opportunities we have, we're going to be in for a rude awakening, I believe. I have 16 years of experience in city government. I am prepared to lead the city from July 1st, taking charge and moving the city forward. The primary is May 21st, and then the general election is June 4th. And I will be ready to take charge on July 1st when we're sworn in. I'm ready to lead the city forward. I'm ready to do the things that it takes to get this city moving. And I thank you for your vote. I thank you for your prayers. And I need all your support, but mostly I need your vote and your prayers on May the 21st.